The names of Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo have been constantly mentioned together since they starred in the phenomenal drama The Untamed. Their on-screen chemistry was so natural, so strong, that many fans believe their relationship off-screen was just as strong. But there's one old story from the set that's rarely discussed, a tense moment when Xiao Zhan actually scolded Wang Yibo. This story circulated quietly among the production crew, then resurfaced online, shocking fans. What really happened that night? It all started amidst the notoriously grueling filming schedule for The Untamed. The fantasy drama required not only emotional acting but also complex fight scenes and repeated choreography rehearsals. Many scenes had to be shot at night, with heavy costumes and unpredictable weather conditions. The actors often worked late into the night, while the production team continued to meet schedule targets. Among the cast, Wang Yibo was known for his discipline. He rarely complained and always wanted to ensure every action scene was perfect. Even after the director called cut, he often asked for extra time to rehearse. For some members of the crew, that dedication was admirable. But to those watching closely, Wang Yibo's exhaustion was readily apparent. One long night on the set, the crew was preparing for one of the more complex fight scenes. The spotlights were bright, artificial fog filled the air, and the staff were busy checking the cameras. Wang Yibo stood in a corner of the set, constantly repeating his sword moves. Sweat beaded on his forehead, but he continued practicing as if he hadn't grown tired. Several crew members tried to suggest he take a break, but Wang Yibo simply smiled and said he wanted to make sure the scene looked convincing. He believed that if the scene failed and had to be retaken multiple times, everyone would only become more tired. So he chose to keep practicing. From a distance, Xiao Zhan watched everything. He had just completed several emotionally draining scenes. However, his attention remained fixed on Wang Yibo, who kept moving. To others, it might have looked like a normal practice session, but to Xiao Zhan, there was something different that night. Wang Yibo's movements began to slow down slightly. His breathing became heavier. Despite this, he continued to twirl his practice sword and repeat the same choreography. It was as if he refused to give his body a chance to rest. Finally, Xiao Zhan walked over. At first, he just stood to the side, watching silently for a few minutes. Some of the crew thought he was just watching his friend practice. But suddenly, something happened that no one expected. In a much firmer tone than usual, Xiao Zhan said, "That's enough. Stop for now." The atmosphere around them immediately felt different. Many on set knew Xiao Zhan as a gentle person who rarely raised his voice. Therefore, hearing his serious tone made several of the crew members instinctively turn their heads. Wang Yibo himself seemed a little surprised. He stopped twirling his sword and stared at Xiao Zhan, as if unsure if he was really being asked to stop. But Xiao Zhan continued in the same firm tone. He told Wang Yibo that he was already too tired and there was no need to push himself. According to a crew member who later recounted the incident, Xiao Zhan even looked genuinely upset. He said that extra training would be meaningless if Wang Yibo's body was injured. For Xiao Zhan, health was far more important than a single perfect scene. The moment left several people on set speechless. Not because of a major argument, but because it was rare to see Xiao Zhan display such emotion. He was usually known for his patience and composure, even during grueling filming schedules. Interestingly, however, Wang Yibo didn't retaliate harshly. He remained silent for a few seconds, then finally smiled slightly. Without much protest, he lowered his sword and sat down in a chair near the monitor. A staff member then handed him a water bottle, while several other crew members began preparing for the next scene. The slight tension slowly subsided. But for those who witnessed it, the moment left a strong impression. Later, some crew members remarked that Xiao Zhan's anger wasn't actually anger in the negative sense. It was more like a spontaneous reaction from someone worried about seeing a friend overexerting themselves. In the high-pressure entertainment industry, such behavior is rare. A few days after the incident, the atmosphere on set returned to normal. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo continued joking around between takes as usual. Some crew members even reported seeing the two laughing together while rehearsing other scenes. This made many people realize that the scolding moment wasn't a sign of conflict, but rather a sign of caring. Sometimes, a strong relationship is truly demonstrated when someone dares to reprimand a friend for the sake of kindness. When this story resurfaced online years later, many fans were touched. They saw it as a small glimpse of the relationship formed during the production of The Untamed, a relationship built through hard work, exhaustion, and mutual support behind the scenes. The drama itself eventually became a global phenomenon, catapulting Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo to even greater fame. But behind that massive success, there were many small moments that never made it onto camera. And perhaps one of the most human moments was the night when Xiao Zhan stopped Wang Yibo's rehearsal with a firm tone. Not because he was angry for no reason, but because he knew his friend's limits. In the entertainment world, where perfection is often demanded, sometimes the most valuable thing is someone who dares to say, "That's enough, take a break." And that night, under the spotlights on the set, Xiao Zhan was that person. But the story of that night didn't stop there as a mere memory from the set. Several crew members who had worked on the production of The Untamed said that after that incident, the working atmosphere between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo actually felt even more solid. The initially surprising reprimand seemed to be proof that beneath their professionalism lay a genuine sense of mutual care. The next day on set, several people noticed a subtle change. Wang Yibo seemed more relaxed as he waited for his turn. He was still practicing, but he wasn't pushing himself for hours on end like the night before. Some crew members even joked that Xiao Zhan's take a break had finally worked. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan himself was back to the familiar figure everyone knew, calm, friendly, and often lightening the mood with lighthearted humor. If someone unfamiliar with the previous night's events had seen them, they might never have guessed that there had been a tense moment between the two. Interestingly, their relationship on set was often described as two very different yet complementary personalities. Wang Yibo was known for being quieter and more focused on his work, while Xiao Zhan often brought a warm energy to the team. This difference actually made their interactions feel natural. Some crew members even said that Xiao Zhan often paid attention to small details that others might not notice. He often made sure his co-stars had eaten, gotten enough rest, or weren't too exhausted after a difficult scene. Therefore, when he finally scolded Wang Yibo that night, some people weren't too surprised after reflecting on his personality. For Wang Yibo himself, the incident didn't seem to leave any lingering feelings. In several interviews after the drama wrapped, he mentioned that filming was exhausting but also memorable. Although he didn't directly recount the incident, his tone always conveyed respect for his coworkers. Over time, this little story from the set began circulating on various fan forums and social media. Many initially thought it was just a rumor, but several crew members who had been involved in the production later confirmed that there had indeed been a moment when Xiao Zhan reprimanded Wang Yibo quite seriously. Rather than sparking controversy, the story actually made many fans appreciate the two even more. They saw that behind the immense popularity and the spotlight, these actors were still ordinary people who could worry about their colleagues. Ultimately, perhaps that's why Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo's partnership felt so powerful to many. It wasn't just because of their on-screen performances, but because behind the scenes, there were also real moments of exhaustion, caring, and friendship that naturally formed over the long journey of creating a drama that would ultimately be remembered worldwide.